to a long child. Yes, it does. The way you squeeze and tease knocks me to my knees. And I'm smoking, baby.
Oh, suki now. Hey! Come on, baby.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report News Break. Well, today is more of a special report on this great Friday. We're talking about President Donald Trump, 45 and 47 Donald Trump. I'll tell you what, there is one issue out there, and one issue that is guaranteed to end Donald Trump. That's right. This issue will end Donald Trump, and that is the war in the Middle East. This is something that America should not be taking part in. America should have no part of. America should let the Middle East sort out their own problems. But the only reason why we are so tied to the Middle East is not because we love Israel. It's not because we feel sorry for Gaza, not because of anything else. It's only because if Iran gets a nuclear weapon, then Saudi Arabia is going to get a nuclear weapon because Iran and Saudi Arabia are rivals. If Saudi Arabia gets a nuclear weapon, then guess what? They will not need America's protection. They will not tie their protection to the petrodollar anymore. The currency of the United States will be gone immediately. They brag about all this oil that America has. As soon as we start tapping into our supply, OPEC is going to flood the market with oil and make it so unprofitable for American drillers. I'm telling you guys, this is all smoke and mirrors. Stay out of the Middle East. Look what's going on with the protesters in Israel.
You're getting a live look out in Jerusalem, Israel. I will say viewer discretion is advised because it is kind of hard to watch. Right now, again, protesters have gathered outside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's home in Tel Aviv, Israel. Reuters reporting that a coalition of hostage families and protesters against the Israeli Prime Minister have moved against the judiciary and parts of the security establishment. They have decided to come together again after war returned to Gaza this week. The Prime Minister's decision to resume the war and bombard the Palestinian enclave at this time, we're learning several people in the Gaza area, Palestinians in the Gaza area, died from Israeli overnight airstrikes. When we first came on the air, the death toll was 58. That has since increased to now 85. So a lot going on, and since that, family members are upset. They are saying that because the conflict has now ensued and that the ceasefire is broken, it now means that their loved ones will remain in Hamas captivity. Tense times, to say the least. You see the gentleman on your screen going back and forth with Israeli officials and law enforcement there on the ground. When we first saw this feed, when it was on your screen, you know, the entire road was blocked off with protesters. And then they started bringing in the guard, which you see there, those big police vehicles to kind of push the protesters to the side of the road. And we've even seen people getting water hosed. People and barricades there. You can see barricades knocked over completely, now being worked to get put back into position.
Turns out Trump is also related to most of the presidents, excluding Van Buren. I don't know about Biden, and then not sure about Clinton. But the rest of them, I don't know if the Bushes are included. But you know that girl who found out that all the presidents were related, excluding Van Buren, but this was back in the early 2000s? Well, Trump happens to actually be on that list. It's just further down. The ancestor that he shares with them may not surprise you, but we learned in the last video that he descends from King James IV of Scotland. He is a descendant of Robert the Bruce, and Robert the Bruce is a descendant of Charlemagne. You gotta go way back, okay? I also descend from Charlemagne, and so do a whole lot of people. But the thing is, so do all the presidents. This is the ancestor that they share. Is it significant? Not really. But it's still kind of cool. Because of that one king, he has actually a lot of royalty. That's what happens. You hit a king, and then your tree splits to like a gazillion kings. So, just something interesting that I learned today. I'm not seeing the family resemblance, but you know, it might be there.
Hey, welcome back. This is WD3 and the Hill Report News Break. You guys just watched some clips that are very telling about protests that are going on right outside of Benjamin Netanyahu's house. This guy is dragging down every single president, using our base in the Middle East, Israel, as a reason to protect them and work out his neighborhood squabbles. But the whole point is for Iran not to get a nuclear weapon. That's why they're on it. They're negotiating. It's not about Iran. Everybody has a nuclear weapon. This is solely about keeping Saudi Arabia from having a nuclear weapon. This is the only reason why America even cares about Iran getting a nuclear weapon, because if Saudi Arabia gets a nuclear weapon, the petrodollar is finished. They will not need our protection anymore. It's almost like if you go and get a bigger gun than your security, well, you don't need your security anymore. This is the only reason. As soon as we drill, as soon as we tap into all this oil that America has, oh, we got so much oil, OPEC is going to flood the market. They're already set up. They already have deals. They'll make oil so cheap per barrel that it wouldn't even be worth it to drill a hole in the United States. I'm telling you guys, this is the crux of the issue. And guess what? This will end Donald Trump. This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report News Break.